Do you feel your Romanian deadlift in your back instead of your glutes? We're gonna fix it in a minute. If you have pain in your lower back, one of the best movements you can do to strengthen the entire posterior chain, which is from your hamstrings to your glutes, and yes, even your lower back, is the Romanian deadlift. But if it hurts when you try and do it, you're not gonna do it. So that's the point of this video, is that we're gonna walk you through step by step, just like we would one of our clients, on how to do this lift without back pain. Weight selection. This is where most people screw up right out of the gate. They try to go too heavy. We need to stay within your current load tolerance. If the weight's too heavy, your body's gonna compensate, and other parts are gonna jump in and try and help, namely your lower back. So the move isn't just try harder, it's work within your envelope and lighten up the weight. What idiot had this much weight on there? What idiot had this much weight on there? First, we need to go through the setup. Okay, we are gonna start this movement from the top, so you can load the weights on a rack like this. Starting from the top, at least under current vernacular, is what makes it a Romanian deadlift. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna approach the bar, we're gonna put our body right up against it, and we are gonna set our feet about shoulder width apart. You need to give yourself enough room to where when we go back, because remember, this is gonna be a back motion, there's enough room for your front portia to get clear of your legs. And then you're gonna set your hands just outside of your thighs, okay? So we're not going way out here, we're not going on the inside. Go ahead and come up, approach the bar. Right about there is good for me. Get right on the outside, and then we're gonna get ready for our bracing protocol. When we talk about bracing when it comes to lifting, we are talking about breathing into our core and flexing like someone's gonna punch us. So I breathe in, and what comes out are my obliques. It's not here. I know a lot of times people talk about bracing, they're pulling their stomach in, it's pushing it out, but we want to focus on the obliques because we're trying to turn ourselves basically into a Coke can, right? You ever try and crush a full Coke can? You're not going to do it. That's the same kind of pressure that we're trying to create to protect our back and give ourselves a solid platform to lift from. So again, and then I flex like someone's going to punch me in the stomach. Think of this like a core exercise. This should be pretty strenuous, okay? Next, we're going to lock our back, and we do that through the use of our arms. Okay, so when I come up to the bar, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to grab it and I'm going to pull myself into the bar using my lats. So I'm here, I am now pulling this bar into me and my lats engage. Additionally, I'm going to twist my hands, okay? It's called bending the bar because you're thinking of bending the bar around your legs. We're gonna do that coupled with this adduction movement from our lats. And that is going to make this bar stick to us. When we come back, you're only gonna go back a couple steps, but I was trying to get a little more open to show you. We're gonna go ahead, we are going to push our shoulders down and away from us. So I am pulling the bar in, I am twisting my wrists, and I am shoving the weight away from me. My lats are locked right now and engaged. So now before I descend, take my bracing breath, and then we're gonna go through the movement. Okay, the main thing to remember with the Romanian deadlift is it's not a deadlift, and it's not a squat, it is its own thing. It's a cousin of the deadlift. In a different video, we're gonna go over the differences, but here is to think about it in 2 stages on the descent. I put a slight bend in my knee. I'm not perfectly straight, I'm not fully bent like a squat, it's literally just a slight bend. Then what I do is I push my knees back. That's the cue, knees back. So I drive my knees back. I am getting a big stretch in my hamstrings right now. The next stage is hips back. You see how that makes me descend? Okay, so I'm here. It's knees back, big stretch. That's gonna hit my hammies. and then hips back. And that automatically brings me down. There is no motion here. I am not bending at all. Okay, that's going to protect our back. Okay, so again, a couple more illustrations. Boom, boom, I'm locked in here. Hamstrings back, or sorry, knees back. Get my hamstrings. Hips back. And that is about as far as I can go. Now I've got stubby little arms, so I come down right around my knees, maybe just a little lower. You might be here, you might be here. Wherever you're at is fine. We want to stay within our threshold. If you continue to do this, you will get more flexibility, mobility, and strength in these lengthened positions, which is where people get hurt. So we are making you strong where you're weak. Okay, I moved the camera because I want you to be able to see how I'm going to keep the bar attached to me for this descent, and then the cues for coming back up, and then we're going to go over the tempo. Okay, so I come in, I approach the bar, I grab, I'm pulling the weight into me. Okay, before we go, bracing breath, twisting, bending the bar, pushing my shoulders down. I drive up, take my clearing step, muck with my feet distance a little bit if I need to. Okay, pushing down and away, breathing into my core, knees back, hips back. Ooh, that's a big stretch. Now, notice this bar is still inside of my armpit. All it did is slide down my body. Do not let it drift away from you. That's going to create a shearing force, and it's going to hurt your back. So we keep it in nice and tight with that adduction from our lats. Okay, pick it up again. Don't pick it up like this. Okay. Knees back, hips back. Nice big stretch. And then from here, it's hips forward. Okay? Notice I don't stand all the way up and arch my back. That's going to put a lot of pressure on my back. Don't need to do it. Just keep the weight right here about in your armpit. Okay? So again, I'm going to set myself up. Big brace, shoulders down, knees back, hips back, up, right back down. This is your set. Okay? Just even that with this weight is getting me pretty good. Okay? And notice the entire time my back stayed flat. There was no Instagram butt. That's going to load our back too. Nice flat back. Sorry I'm breathing. It's just that this is such a good exercise. Okay? All right, so one more time. We're going to go ahead from the top here. Approach the weight. Hands right at my thighs. Twisting, pulling, pushing. My shoulders away. Step back. Get set. Twisting, pushing, pulling into me. Big brace. Knees back. Hips back. Up. Right back down. Oh. And actually, I am getting a little bit of stimulus in my lower back. That's okay. That's not pain. I'm training it. I am making it stronger. Okay, so when you bail and I'm doing my descent, if something doesn't feel right, don't be polite at the gym. Let it go, okay? No one's going to judge you. No one cares. If we're worried about this, maybe just to be nice to the gym, do it on a platform if they have one. If you're just getting comfortable with it, like one of those like powerlifting or Olympic lifting platforms, you can use that. A gym like this, they got nice rubber plates on a rubber floor. Nothing's hurt. You are so much more important than someone having to deal with a clangy sound for 5 minutes. And if one of those gym assholes comes up and yells at you, send them my way, okay? Tell them Chad tells them to fuck off. But anyways, bail, save yourself. If it's pain, call it. Do not muscle through it. Do not try. If it's stimulus, okay, let's see where we're at. As long as we're within that envelope. If you are pushing on the weight, to where we've gone from, you've worked your way up, and now we're getting up to the heavier stuff, and you feel that stimmy start coming in and it starts getting pretty tired, your muscles that are supporting your spine might give out. So at that point, just go ahead and bail. Just call it. It's okay. I'd rather do another set or come back to fight another day than worried about one more stupid rep. One more rep is not going to make you, into the person you're trying to be. But that one more rep that is a bridge too far, that can change not just your week, your month, your year, but maybe your life. So don't chance it. Fortunately, on this exercise, bailing out if something goes wrong is pretty darn easy, okay? We need to make sure that we avoid all the little mistakes, letting that back around, overarching, going too heavy, turning it into a squat or some other exercise, letting the bar leave out in front of you, not staying engaged the whole time, which can be hard, right? So that's why at the top, if you need to, that's where you do a little reset. All right, I know I said, keep going through it, but if you're here, back, boom, 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 knees back, hips back, and we're coming up and we're on rep 3, whatever it happens to be, and you're starting to feel your background and it's not pain yet, or you feel that your brace isn't there anymore, just reset. I can stay here all day. Okay, I'm good to go now. All right, we need to stay protected for every single rep. Now, for additional protection, we're gonna go over some gear recommendations. Okay, first thing, handy dandy knee sleeves are not essential for this. They can be nice because you are sliding a bar up and down your body, and it can actually give you a little protection from that bar. When you start doing heavier weights and you're sliding it along your body and your shorts roll up, something like that, the bar can snag you. Hopefully, that's a problem someday. That's a good problem. It means that you've worked your way up to enough weight to where you need a little additional protection from it. Good problem. If you like wearing these for this, it's fine. Because I'm usually doing this on a leg day, I'll probably have these on. You don't need them for this exercise. Okay. A nice weight belt. If you are just starting on this, I recommend a solid, which where the leather is the same size all the way around. I don't like fabric belts. To each their own. If you do, you can get a ratchet belt. It's just this is the kind of belt I like, where if you're going to get one where it has this kind of mechanism, get one that has one prong, not two. It's really a pain in the ass if you're cinching that thing around you, and then you have to try and get the second prong in there, or it's stuck some other way. Get one with one. Again, the ratchet belts, those are pretty cool. Again, all we want to make sure we have is just one size all the way around. And that's just so that way when you're doing your brace, the support is equal all the way around. We don't need the bodybuilder belt where it's really thin in the front and big in the back. I don't know the purpose of that, but this style of belt, ratchet, whatever system, leather, something that's sturdy. Again, I don't like the fabric belts. Wrist straps. This is not a grip exercise. You don't have to train your grip on this. For me, I usually start out without my straps because, hey, I am getting a little bit of grip training while I'm doing it. I'll usually work up. For me, anything over 300, I like putting on my straps because my grip is going to give out, especially in this double over position. And I'm not a fan of mixed grip. I'll make a whole video on that, but mixed grip, I'm not a fan. If you're in powerlifting and you have to, not use straps in competition, okay, go for it. Do hook grip, which is this thingy that just hurts your thumb like crazy, but people that can do it are awesome at it. I like these. These are Versa Grip. I'm sure there's some kind of Temu style of them out there now, but I like Versa Grips. You just throw it on over your wrist, cinch it. Don't do it over your Apple Watch. And all you do is just wrap the leather underneath, flip it, grab it, and that bar ain't going anywhere now. Okay, it's super easy. Makes it really easy to bail if you need to. But here, these little guys save the day. And then finally, shoes. Highly recommend either going barefoot or wearing a minimalist shoe like this. This is a Vivo Barefoot. They're pretty expensive, but I have beat the living hell out of these things, and they just keep on going. In fact, half the time I wear them like a slipper. You're probably not supposed to, but that's what I do. And that's about it for gear. So if you fix your setup, pick the right weight, control the movement, and do all those little pieces right, the Romanian deadlift is going to go from something that you're afraid of to probably one of your most powerful training tools. And if you're really serious, reach out to us in the description. Have a good one.